What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get to the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, before I start my video, I hope y'all had a great 4th of July weekend. I did enjoy myself, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of fireworks going on. I was not outside, you know what I'm saying? But it was cool, you know what I'm saying? It was chill, it was relaxing. So I got a chance to rejuvenate, and I'm extremely proud of that, you know, because my birthday is 5 days before 4th of July. So I felt like it signified something really important this year. So again, I hope y'all had fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it for the most part, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all was safe, you know. But again, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that I'm not the type that is the one that puts people against each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I truly believe that when all this boils over, you know what I'm saying, people are really going to have to come together to sustain life. Otherwise, what people fail to realize is the fact that the system is going to take over everything, you know. And I think a lot of people tend to think their life is not valuable because of what they went through. So they tend to not value their life. Like, they just be out here playing, you know what I'm saying, with their own life, not really caring, just moving along as it goes, you know, and living normally, like how you see everybody else living, not realizing, like, no matter how you feel about yourself, even if you choose to bring kids into this world or you don't, like, they gonna be relying on you. So if I was you, I would take your life serious, you know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of people's eyes are closed and sleep, and then a lot of people's eyes are open and they can see, you know what I'm saying? We are fighting a way bigger picture than anybody can truly understand. But I think the magic these days is the fact that people hide it well. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the system is collapsing on everybody. It's not just one person. It's not just these people. The whole system is slowly but surely collapsing on everybody. But because a lot of our, you know what I'm saying, soul wounds are tied to others, we tend to put a handicap on other people instead of looking at the system that we've been fighting all along. We've been fighting this system our whole entire life. It's just the way they taught us to believe that it kept it flowing. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't care who it is, what it is, or what people are going through, or the smiles they portray. Everybody in this world is going through something behind the scenes. It's just you can't see it because they put on a face and they act and they smile and pretend. And so oftentimes you tend to think you're the only one going through stuff. You're not. You know what I'm saying? It's a bigger system at play, for real. You know what I'm saying? But understanding and being mindful, now is the time where, you know, I truly believe the balance and healing of women and the ability to have a caring heart is what's pushed to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Because let's just be real here. A lot of these systems that we depend on are run by men. You feel me? And I'm not against none of them. But if you have a certain type of man that's banking off of power and control and not really caring about the people, you got to think how that system bends and folds to put money and structure in his pocket, but not ours. You know what I'm saying? Listen, almost every single system is ran by a man. And then oftentimes they have wives, but just to think, the moment he, you know what I'm saying, made that woman his wife or had kids with her, she started taking on how he think and how he operate. I know you've seen those movies where the serial killer man oftentimes has a girlfriend or a wife, and she end up doing the very same things that he be doing. You feel me? Without objection to it, because she already sold her soul to whatever he was preaching. Now, again, this is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But if you think on a major scale, how a lot of these systems are dictated and ran, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking from my own perspective. The police departments, the sheriff's department, where I'm from, are ran by men. You know what I'm saying? Which means they're going to do whatever is necessary to get ahead on their own accord. It doesn't matter if the people fail. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, the president of the United States is a man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he's cutting out all systems, all things we relied on. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel stupid now that they didn't, you know what I'm saying, voted for this man. But he basically showed y'all who he was on a platter, and y'all didn't take him serious. And now that he's, you know what I'm saying, cutting out certain systems that y'all rely on, y'all tend to think that, you feel me, it's his fault. Y'all mad? Nah, he convinced y'all to vote for him even though he was a convicted criminal. You know what I'm saying? And now y'all failing, and now y'all need something to depend on, and now y'all upset. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the child welfare CPS is ran by a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the Section 8 housing market, all of it is ran by men that used a certain level of how we thought and think to put money into their pockets by controlling a certain system. But you got to think how those systems won't be as effective now that a lot of people are waking up. But what's happening is the people that are being, you know what I'm saying, arrogant, don't want to trust and believe that maybe the people that have the most insight to what's going on is the ones that's going to help them adjust out of, you know what I'm saying, staying stuck in a certain systems. I seen it with my own eyes, and I'm not hating on it. We used the best of what we had to make it work. But imagine us only being able to allow those certain systems to be ran because of our mental state and the way we thought, that put millions of dollars of money into other people's pockets while we suffered. You know what I'm saying? But now that a lot of us are waking up to the truth of what's really going on, let's snatch the very systems y'all depend on. And then what happens is a lot of people who are not willing to grow or change are still stuck in that mind frame. And what happens is when they can't grow in their own life, they start to portray anybody. You know what I'm saying? Even if they know it's wrong, they'll do it anyway because you're a threat to their mental state and what they know. You know what I'm saying? Not even understanding and realizing the people that you're targeting was also a product of the same system. They just woke up to what was really going on and was able to adjust accordingly by force. They didn't get a choice. You know what I'm saying? They were forced to heal, you know what I'm saying, to go with what is currently going on in the world. Instead of constantly, you know what I'm saying, being stuck behind and betraying everybody and not being able to get ahead because mentally they're still stuck. You got to really think about it. The only reason why someone judges you or directs, you know what I'm saying, betrayal or aggression towards you is because they're stuck in their own life. And they're upset that you've had the mentality and the capacity to move ahead. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really think about it on a mainstream, how a lot of these systems operated and were able to make billions of dollars off of the mental capacity of us not growing and staying stuck. So if you grow and you're able to, you know what I'm saying, elevate and do the healing, imagine how your mindset will be able to handle whatever you're going through in life. And it won't be as stressful because you got to think about it. A lot of what be going on, so you don't have no control over that. But if you constantly trying to chase the bag, chase the money, you feel me? That's where it's going to put you at a dead end. Because if the government takes all the money away, what you going to do? Nine times out of 10, you're going to finesse the people closest to you that don't know your game and who you are for real and betray them so that you can stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? But if those people happen to wake up to the truth of who you really are for real, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even going to have them to depend on. You know what I'm saying? And growth is almost going to be inevitable. And it's crazy, I think, because a lot of people don't think they are ever going to have to pay for the things that they do to people. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to a point where they actually have to apologize or, you know, feel the pain of doing somebody wrong simply because they may have, you know what I'm saying, got ahead in life mentally by just their own trauma. They like, people don't be ready to face that. They'll stop talking to you for the rest of your life until you feel me, pass away, and then never heal that, simply because, you know what I'm saying, they are too in their ego to have to want to apologize, or, you know what I'm saying, correct their wrongs. And it's crazy because it's like, listen, you only gonna have one family, so you'd rather just stop talking to the one family you have because you too arrogant to apologize and correct your wrongs. That's crazy. That's childish as hell. Especially when we be teaching kids to apologize, or, you know what I'm saying, make sure that they treat their siblings right. But when we grow up, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We'll run off on somebody. We gotta apologize, please. You tripping? No. What you did was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know it was wrong, and you just too in your ego to apologize, and your life is falling apart. You know what I'm saying? Simply because you too stagnant in your own growth. And people can't even see it for real because they only want to target this one person, especially, you know what I'm saying, if it's somebody you always thought you were going to do better than. You know what I'm saying? You always thought you were ahead of them. You always thought you had more than them. You always thought you were doing better than them. You know what I'm saying? But all that material shit you thought you had don't replace morals, values, things money can't buy. Because again, like I said, if the government takes all the money, y'all just empty, shellless people with no goals, no motives, no authenticity about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it shows. And people start to see it. And they start to be like, dang, you know what I'm saying, that person was right. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like that person who now all of a sudden their true self gets to be exposed, they are having a very hard time with trying to understand the fact that now other people see them in their true form, which original person did, but they did everything they could to twist the narrative, finesse the story, so that everybody wouldn't get wind of how this person really acts. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, it's a slow breakdown of the system. You know what I'm saying? And it's a new era. Maybe what was happening to me and my growth at the time wasn't happening to everybody else. So they were still trying to settle in their system. And I was a threat to compromising what they had going on. But over time, once I seen the system and start knocking everybody's shit down, you know what I'm saying? It's almost as if like now y'all don't have the capacity to be able to handle it because y'all thought those would always survive. You feel me? Because listen, a lot of people took oaths. And the oath was spiritually. You attack anyone that's a threat to your system, and we'll keep paying you and put money in your pockets. But what if now you following that system is leaving you broke because they lied to you? The people that run these systems, you know what I'm saying, are having to be able to deal with the people that woke up and y'all still sleep. So they made you betray the people closest to you to put money in your pockets while that system turned on you. Boy, don't you feel stupid? I would. If I betrayed the people that really had the best interest for me simply for money, and that system turned on me, and now I'm struggling, you know what I'm saying, while that person is moving peacefully in their life, it'll make you feel some type of way. I know I would, you know what I'm saying? But again, I'm the type of person that if I love you, I love hard. So it never came down to what people had. You know what I'm saying? How much more money, how much better they was doing. You know what I'm saying? Any time that I leveled up in my life, it's because that's what I wanted. And I wanted it for myself. It didn't matter who I was doing better than, who I had more than. You feel me? Listen, if they got their shit together, salute to that. I was happy for them. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because it's not easy out here. It's hard. But again, the fact that we have been trained to go against the people closest to us to invest in the system, and then when the system collapses due to all the fraud and the betrayal and the background people flipping it, twisting it, getting dollars in their pocket, once all that starts to be revealed, that system flips. So the system y'all investing in is no longer a system. They gotta flip on y'all because they flipped on themselves by the people invested in it who did and took betrayals and, you feel me, bribes to be able to get ahead. Like, it's so much deeper than what people think. You know what I'm saying? And listen, it's crazy because it's like, I don't think people really understand the things that matter most and why they're so expensive. Do y'all know how much it costs to bury somebody? It's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I know from experience. You know what I'm saying? My granny paid for my brother's whole funeral. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how much a headstone costs? It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So just to think that the things that we take for granted so much are the things that money can't buy, but it costs so much money. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. If everybody in my culture is killing everybody, that's a lot of turkey plate dinners. That's a lot of men without funerals. That's a lot of women without funerals. That's a lot of men, women, and children without headstones, because it's too expensive for us to pay for them, because we relying on the very systems that know that. You know what I'm saying? I see change. I see growth, though. But a lot of people don't see it because they don't want to see it, because a lot of them are still stuck in the same system. They want to keep that system alive, because once something becomes a threat to your survival, that's when everybody get in a panic, especially when something has been going on for so long. Like, say, for instance, a tornado just decided to hit Sacramento. Do you know how many people would be in a panic just because we live in a city where tornadoes don't happen? Everybody will lose their shit. You know what I'm saying? Because people are not prepared for change. Now, just imagine if you were able to, like, research and read and be aware of things and know how they work. So if something does happen, you're prepared. You're not left in the dark. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, because a lot of the systems that operate and control us only tell us what they want us to know. Only paint certain things in a good light, but all the things that's going on in the background, we never see. We never know. You know what I'm saying? It's done like that intentionally, on purpose. You know? So the people don't become afraid, or, you know what I'm saying, they don't stop investing in certain systems. I'm telling you, listen, I would never go against somebody I love to invest in a system that's flipping on me. It was intentionally designed that way. So now just imagine if you actually got to rely on that person for assistance. And I'm not talking about, you feel me, like completely relying on them, but knowing that somebody around you or somebody close to you has some certain type of advice or knowledge that can help you get ahead in your life, because mentally you're stuck. You know what I'm saying? But at first you nagged that person, you put that person down, you made them feel less than, while they was robbed of everything just to keep your image afloat. But now your image is also sinking too. You feel me? Because listen, what is going on in the world right now is not affecting one person, it's affecting everybody. So being able to understand and realize that now, you know what I'm saying, we're actually having to look to the people that we put down or discourage to be able to help us make it out of whatever we in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about unity and coming together. Of course, there are some people that are still making millions and thousands of dollars, but the only way that, you feel me, some certain systems can maintain is the fact that those people need help. Meaning, if they're just completely self-sabotaging themselves with their money. Listen, you can have all the money in the world. It's no fun after you buy everything and you don't have nothing to share with nobody. Like, you don't have nobody to share it with. It's boring. Life becomes non-existent because it's only so much shit you can buy. You know what I'm saying? But imagine taking your money and investing it in areas where, you know what I'm saying, it's not that much money going into that area because of the system and how it's flipped. You feel me? Listen, I didn't vote for my own personal reasons, but I truly believe that if y'all would have voted for Kamala Harris, she probably wouldn't have had it to where things were going the way they're going. But because y'all probably were convinced to believe that a woman didn't have the power to dictate a whole United States because of y'all strictly following men, he didn't flip the whole shit on y'all. Not only is he a convicted felon, he done made y'all think he was going to pour money into the community, and what he's doing is taking it out. Everybody's getting robbed. If you ain't wealthy or sitting on the highest pyramid, nigga, he's taking everything from everybody. And everybody looking crazy now because we thought that by voting for him, we was going to get more money. No, we not. You feel me? He basically showed us who he was, and we ignored it. Convicted felon or not, oh well, and still vote for him. You feel me? Listen, and this is not to knock anybody, because the president is the president. You feel me? But at the same time, I didn't vote for anybody, you know? Because you got to think, a lot of times, people only show us what they want to show us. Doesn't mean that's really who they are for real. You know what I'm saying? It's, hey, it's crazy, but it's so real. I never would have thought that it would come a time and place in life where your mental state and the things that money can't buy is worth way more than the material things that people chase. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there are people staying at their family members' houses right now. I'm pretty sure people then lost their cars. I'm pretty sure. But you feel me? Again, a lot of people don't want to reconnect with you because they don't want you to know that, you feel me, you were right all along. You feel me? They still are hoping that you fail. They still are wishing that you don't succeed. You feel me? So it can keep up the facade that they made for themselves. I want to be right. I want to be the one who told the truth. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I love my life. It's worth something. You feel me? Not only to myself, but to the child that I decided to bring into this world. So therefore, I'm going to keep going regardless of how people feel about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I persevere. I'm too determined. I had a little situationship yesterday that showed me that my determination and my persevering in the long run always works out. You know what I'm saying? But there are people around you who want to see you fail and not grow, so they'll try to put you in a stagnation so that you don't believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Again, a lot of people, I would say all the people in the world have been trained to every man for himself. You feel me? So if I have to betray or shit on the person next to me to get ahead, that's what I'm going to do. Even if I love them and care about them. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So now I truly believe if people don't believe in a higher power, they should. You feel me? Because it's been watching and governing the world for so long that it decided to give these certain people the ability to go after the things that don't cost money. You know what I'm saying? And when that tide flips, they'll be the ones, you know what I'm saying, not having to worry about certain things. But again, you got to dare to be bold, because a lot of people too scared to do what people tell them not to do. A lot of people too scared to, you feel me, do what is out of the box. They'll be quick to inflict it on someone else that they not supposed to do that, but when it come time for them, they don't know, they scared. You feel me? That's why I don't let nobody control me, because I'm pretty sure somebody controlling you. And once they pull the mat from under your feet, you, oh, what am I supposed to do? Oh, but it's easy for you to control somebody else. That's crazy. You feel me? You can't tell me what to do. I'm not going to listen. You feel me? Because it's always somebody running you who's scared of somebody else. They just make sure they hide that part from you so you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, it's a dangerous world. But I believe yesterday from my own experience that it's a lot of what's being done that people can't see because people sleep. You feel me? But people are very aware of how their spirit acts. You feel me? I was in the store and you should have seen how the people were acting in the store, simply because, you know what I'm saying, this gentleman sided with me. And now they're looking at him like, what are you going to reveal to her about what's going on in our community? You feel me? Because she knows too much. Now you're being close to her, that's threatening our system. You feel me? A lot of the system has been banking off of control. You feel me? And making sure people stay quiet and making sure we don't know the secrets of what's on the dark side. That's how it keeps certain systems going. But again, now the system is flipping on itself. But it made it seem like it was us. So if the system flips on itself, it's eventually going to flip on y'all, right? Facts. If somebody betrays somebody else in your circle, they eventually going to betray you. That's just how it works. But still, people are having a hard time believing that the system has betrayed us after all these years. So they're doing everything they can to try to keep it afloat. Man, that ain't true. It ain't the system. It's y'all. No, it's not. You feel me? They've just been keeping it so under disguise. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody cares to pay attention. They want to point the finger at mama and daddy and cousins and best friends and all that, not realizing the system flipped on itself because the people within the system were flipping on them. So now we don't want the population to know that we turned on our own selves. You feel me? And we're also facing backlash too. But if we let y'all know that, then y'all gonna find out that we was never telling the truth. And we don't want to have to deal with that. So let's make sure y'all don't get close enough to knowing the truth, and y'all continue to hate each other. You feel me? It don't matter if y'all kill each other off. We not y'all. hey, that's sad. That's sad. Because I bet when it come close to their home foundation and their family, oh, they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that. It get real. You know what I'm saying? So again, understanding and being mindful that if we are able to heal and realize that us as a unit is way more important than depending on the system that's going to fail you every time. Listen, I know for a fact the government is taking money from a lot of systems that people depend on. And people are having to go back and stay with their family members and stuff and make it work, try to put it together. But just to think, like, some people hate their family members so much they don't got nobody to rely on or depend on. They out here swimming on their own. You feel me? By themselves. Why that person got a whole house or apartment and can help, but they don't want to. Why? Because they too spiteful of you and your growth, or their ego is too high to want to have to apologize. Oh, but boy, do the tables turn. You know what I'm saying? So listen, understanding and being mindful that the system we relied on is flipping on itself. And if you're still relying on that system, it's going to flip. It's only a matter of time before it flip on you too. So my best advice would be to heal. Do your best to get yourself under control. Otherwise, in the end, you're gonna lose everything. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't have nobody to depend on, you know what I'm saying? Because those people relied on certain systems, you start to really diminish, especially if you live your life depending on other people's energy to get ahead. And a lot of y'all don't even realize y'all be doing that. You feel me? But listen, understanding and being mindful, it's a wild world out there. If I were you, I would get your mental together before you not be able to make it in this world that is slowly changing. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.